From Calvary Church of Santa Ana, this is the Calvary Life Podcast, the show where we share stories, laugh together, and have discussions about faith, life, and God with people from Calvary Church. Here are your hosts, Eric and Matt.
Welcome to the Calvary Life Podcast. This is Eric Wakeling here with
Matthew Doan.
That's him. We are here. We are excited. Maybe you are watching us. Maybe you are just listening to us. But we are here on May the 4th be with you day.
Did you get my joke earlier?
I definitely got the joke. Tell everyone your joke.
Well, it's so good I have to actually look it up.
You should look it up because it's a really, really good Star Wars joke. I liked it a lot.
All right, so we're recording this on May 4th, which is Star Wars Day, as you just said. And if you're expecting a Star Wars joke from us today, you may be looking in Alderaan places.
It's probably a better joke read in written form than in like out loud in Alderaan places.
It could have also been the presenter as well.
You had you didn't fully commit. You got nervous.
I did.
Right before you said Alderaan, the name of the planet.
I got nervous.
You got nervous. I could
did.
tell. Or though I think it's like Alderaan's like a moon, maybe even.
It could be. That's why I got nervous. I'm not quite sure what Alderaan is.
No, that's the planet that got destroyed. Princess Leia's planet in the first one.
So sad.
I know. So in Alderaan places, I really like that joke. Which actually, that might mean that your joke is super bad.
If you like it?
Yeah, if I like it, because I'm one of the world's easiest audiences to laugh at, and I like nerd stuff.
There is actually nothing better than hearing you laugh. You can hear Eric's laugh all across a room. If you're ever in a crowded room with him, it's the best.
So we know.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we haven't recorded in a little while, but for good reasons
right.
this time. Yes. So Matt Doan just wasn't available.
Yeah, my schedule was a little full.
No, but yeah, I just got back on Friday. Today's Monday. I just got back Friday afternoon from a little trip to Nepal.
A little.
Yeah.
Like the farthest away from California you can almost get.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, literally halfway around the world. So it was an amazing trip. We'll give the full rundown shortly. But we're back together.
Yep.
I mean, like today is the first day I've seen you.
I haven't seen you.
I know. So, because you were just sort of gallivanting over the weekend, not going to church.
That's actually true. It's crazy, though. We were messaging back and forth. This is, if you can watch on the video, this is me messaging.
Some of the real highlights you get from watching this on YouTube, you can see Matt using his thumbs.
It was tripping me out that you were able to respond to text on Mount Everest.
Dude, you didn't accept a FaceTime from me.
I didn't see it.
I FaceTimed
I heard this.
the ELT group
Yes.
of, from Everest Base Camp. And Shannon was the only one to answer. No answer from Michael Wells. No answer from Susie Sapagian. No answer from Matt Doan.
Did it go straight to voicemail on me, or could you hear it ring a few times?
No,
Because
when
you can kind of tell when someone's screening if it rings.
It doesn't. It's not like that. So when do you know, have you ever tried this? Have you ever FaceTimed a text thread?
No.
Yeah, it's the best. So there's a text thread. You just like go FaceTime and it'll get everyone in like a little party line thing on the screen at the same time. So it's just, if you don't answer, you don't answer.
Yeah.
I don't hear like your voicemail.
Look at you, Facebook expert.
Facebook? That has nothing to do with Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to equate everything with Facebook because I make fun of him because he's a big Facebooker and he's like a member of the boomer generation. But
FaceTime is different.
FaceTime is definitely just an Apple product, but yes. We are back, man. Oh my goodness. We're back. We're teasing. We're having a good time.
Okay, scale 1 to 10. 10, you're ready to run a marathon. 1, you are about to fall asleep as we're recording. How are you feeling right now? You got to have some jet lag in you.
I'm on that scale. I am what would be called Sunday afternoon nap ready. Yes. I'm ready. I could use a nap right now.
Your head's feeling a little heavy.
Pretty desperately. Yeah, it is. It's the hardest jet lag I think I've ever actually experienced because it's the longest, 12 hours and 45 minutes, which is strange. The 45 minutes is especially strange.
Right.
But they don't go on the hour. They go on like an extra 45 minutes from an hour.
Walk us through flying
the whole thing
from California to Kathmandu.
So
sounds like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, I had a kind of a crazy situation. So Jason Krzyzewicz, my like best friend in the world.
Goes here to Calvary.
Yeah, exactly. Goes here to Calvary. It was his 50th birthday weekend. And so he wanted to go up to Sonoma. So we were up in that area, staying up there. And we were at dinner we went on Friday to that. This is like 2 weeks ago on a Friday and 2.5 weeks ago. And I fly up to Sonoma
with all your mountain climbing gear,
carrying all my stuff to go to Mount Everest Base Camp. And then on like the Saturday night of that hangout, I got picked up. Like I just like got a like Uber or whatever, like a car to take me to San Francisco airport at like, I left the restaurant at 8:15 at night and then just drove to SFO airport, which is like an hour and a half away
it's
from
not
the
easy
whole
drive.
Sonoma area. And well, it was easy for me because I just sat there, but, and it was like late enough that it wasn't traffic, but yeah. And then I just like went straight to the airport and flew to Kathmandu, Nepal, which was just insane. But you first fly I flew to Hong Kong because we were supposed to go the other way. We were supposed to go through Qatar, but there's like some stuff going on in the Middle East these
just
days.
a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe you've heard about it in the news.
Yeah, exactly. And so we flew through Hong Kong, had like a 12-hour
So
layover.
you went west.
Yes, went west over the ocean. And that was like a 15-hour flight, 12-hour layover.
Okay, what's your game plan on a 15-hour flight?
5-hour
Are you
flight.
like stretching every hour? Are you what do you do?
I know. I was okay. So this trip, my plane tickets were purchased for me by someone else, as well as this whole trip was.
Yes, you had a gospel donor.
Yes, and he put me in premium economy, which was nice.
Yeah.
I was window seat.
Okay.
So there's two seats on the left. I was like window, and then so there's somebody else next to me now. In those seats, it's kind of like, it's not lay down, but it is like footrests kind of go up.
Oh, nice.
And it leans farther back. But one thing that's like the challenge is it's a little harder to get out
because everyone's
if you have to
leaning
go
back
to the bathroom. Yeah, because they're like footrest.
You got to wake everybody up.
Back. So now there's only 2 people.
Yeah.
So it's just I have to wake one person up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just me, and it's like just like an A B. You know. Anyway, so I did a couple times have to wake up this like. It was like this kind of like young girl. I felt bad. I was just like, sorry, I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm a middle-aged man. I got to go to the bathroom.
I know. I went to the bathroom a couple times on the 15-hour flight, but like I try to time it for like when we would finish a meal or something, you know? And then, but yeah, I slept good though on that plane flight.
Really?
Yeah, I slept good.
That's
I probably
actually a
slept
gift.
like 7 or 8 hours.
Wow.
I know, but it's 15 hours, so it was still like another 7 or 8 hours of being awake.
Isn't that crazy?
It was so far. So yeah, so then we like enjoyed Hong Kong, went into the city of Hong Kong for a while.
What's that like? I've never been there.
It's like crazy because it's like islands and peninsulas kind of, and it's like very congested, like very high-rise buildings in a very small, packed-in little area.
Yeah,
because it's like ocean, and then it goes up a hill right away, up a hill, and it's like everything's like packed into this little hillside, and very busy, very like big. I mean, there's like.
Did you leave your suitcases like in the airport? Or
yeah,
what?
we checked them into like a locker kind of area or whatever. Like there's an area you can like check your bags, and so we put all of even our carry-ons like in there and stuff, so we just could go into the city, and it was cool. So we hung out, enjoyed the city, and then went back to the airport and just kind of waited for our flight for a couple more hours, and then.
So you met the other 2 guys in Hong Kong.
Met the other 2 guys in Hong Kong. Yeah, they got there only like a half hour.
Was part of you
before me.
like, wait, is this a big prank? Like, I'm gonna get to Hong Kong?
Can you imagine? I think like, I was pretty sure this whole thing wasn't a prank, but I definitely was like, I hope they're there, you know? I don't know. Right. And, but yeah, it was cool. So then we get to Kathmandu, another 5 hours to get to Kathmandu. And so you arrive from Hong Kong's kind of like a wealthy city, big city, coming from San Francisco area or down here where we live. And then you get to Kathmandu, and Kathmandu is a chaotic, busy, kind of feels a little more third world, definitely like just hundreds and hundreds of motorcycles, like all over, like going just crazy everywhere. And
it's a little overwhelming,
traffic,
I'm sure.
Overwhelming, loud, poor, you know, and then, so we're staying in this like pretty nice hotel though, this Marriott hotel in the middle of Kathmandu. And then, but it was just like real rough, like all around everywhere. And then, so we were there at that Marriott in Kathmandu for a couple nights while we're just kind of like getting our stuff ready and kind of, I don't know, we went and like got debriefed by the tour company, and like then we just had meals together and kind of I checked out the city a lot more after. I wasn't like super. All of us were like kind of wanting to be careful before we started of like what we ate, like really. And Kathmandu is like cool, has some like cool street food and stuff, but you don't want to be like experimenting with street food right before you do like a. It's supposed to be 8-day hike or whatever. Yeah. And so, but Kathmandu is at like 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
So you're already like getting up a little bit. So a couple nights of like,
did you feel it right away?
No, I couldn't really tell at the 5,000, but it just, your body is like starting to, it's weird. I wasn't like doing anything that strenuous though either, but I was just kind of hanging out. But yeah, so then we fly in a helicopter from Kathmandu all the way to this little town called Lukla, Lukla.
How long is that?
And it took about, I'd say it's about a 45-minute helicopter ride, like a pretty good long helicopter ride. And that that village, I would say, is at 9,000 feet.
Wow.
And many people say that's the most dangerous airport in the world. So, because little planes can land on this very short airstrip, and it's like a cliff that drops off. It's kind of like Catalina Airport, where it's like a cliff that drops off. So like when they take off in the airplane, you have to like really gun it and then just like pull up, because or else no matter what, you're falling off that cliffside. But in a helicopter, it's a little less. That's not.
What's it like?
Not a concern.
I've actually never ridden in a helicopter in my life. So what's that like? 45 minutes.
It's really interesting. It's like, do you remember? This is probably not going to help anybody's like understanding of it, but it kind of reminds me of like riding a camel. The takeoff and landing is kind of weird, but the rest of it's kind of normal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been on a camel actually.
When you guys, even when you do camel rides here at Calvary, the bummer is they have you like climb up a stairs.
Yeah.
And I think that's so the camel doesn't have to get up and get down for every single person. But it's crazy when the camel stands up, you're like going way back and forth. Like it's like going all crazy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how like the helicopter, it takes off and you like all of a sudden are angled, or it can go backwards, or it can do stuff like that. So it feels really different at first. And then after a while, you're just kind of like, I don't know, we're just going.
Yeah.
When you're like going far, you're just kind of like going in a direction, but it
stays
really
pretty
loud.
Stable.
Yeah. It's pretty stable. It's pretty loud. But when you're flying through the mountains, it's like, I feel like the guys that are like these pilots there, I was talking to them, one was from like New Zealand and one was from Switzerland, that they love flying in mountains specifically. And I feel like they were like maybe watching too many like old Vietnam movies or something where they're kind of like hugging the tree line and, they're just like kind of, you're like, I don't know, bro. Do we need to be this close to the cliff? Yeah. So
that was actually one of the ways I was praying for you. I was like, oh man, there's helicopter rides sound scary.
Yeah, they're fun. It's actually really fun. I mean, it does have risk attached to it for sure, but they're really fun.
Yeah.
Going through the mountains. And so then it's like, we flew up there and it's just like, okay, you start hiking. And so we had met our tour guide the day before, and we have like an assistant guide as well. And so the assistant guide like leads our little group. There's just 3 of us, and then there's an assistant guide, and then the main guide that goes in the back, and he's kind of like talking us through stuff. And the assistant guide is like setting the pace. And then we have 2 porters as well that are carrying all of our stuff. This is crazy. Now, this is information that I don't think everyone knows. Okay, so Sherpas, maybe you've heard, because these people helping us are Sherpas.
Right.
Now, Sherpa is a people group, not a job title.
Okay.
So a lot of people think
it's like a ranch hand or something. That's not what a Sherpa is.
No, but like it sort of has become that because like people used the Sherpa people group to be their porter,
right,
or to be their guide, or to be their climbing assistant.
Yeah, I'll often say to my kids, like, I'm not your Sherpa. You got to carry your own water bottle or something.
Right. But that's kind of like saying I'm not your Swedish person. Or I'm not your German.
I get it.
You know, if you said I'm not your German, you'd be like, whoa, bro, like, don't be racist.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that sort of a thing. And so, the Sherpa people serve as porters or guides or climbers. And the thing about them is that there's like that expression, like he's built different. They literally are built different because they were born at somewhere between 9 to 15,000 feet elevation in one of these villages, and they grew up in these villages in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And so they're just like literally like we're raised to be stronger.
Yeah.
Like lung capacity and like the way that altitude affects them.
It's kind of like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Built different.
I'm like already kind of going off on this whole trip thing, but I think this is what
No, it's fascinating to
we
me.
promised. And so then we start walking, and we just like start cruising, and we only have to go that first day like it was a shorter hike, like 4 miles or something like that, and it's at this lower elevation of around 9,000 feet, and that's actually like along the river. So we're kind of going through a valley along this river.
Incredible.
And you can sort of see mountain, like the big snowy peaks in the distance, but we're not really seeing
Is it
peaks
50
yet.
degrees, 80 degrees? What's the weather?
The first couple days, it is more like 50s to 60s at the hottest. And then it would cool way down. So we got to this little like hotel that we are staying at, lodge, I guess you could say. We get to that place like after these few miles. So we fly out a few miles, like, so it's still afternoon by the time we get there, and we get there and it is like cooling down and it get like really cold. Like, so in the night it was getting, even at those lower elevations, like down to like 20 something degrees or whatever. And it was like a stone building, and none of the hotel or quote unquote hotel rooms have heaters. So no heaters in the room. But what they have, what's interesting is like they put electric blankets underneath your underneath your sheet. Underneath the fitted sheet is like an electric blanket. So the bed is sort of warmed. And so then you can like I would even just sort of like turn it off once I go to sleep, but you get my bed all warm and cozy, and then you get in and you get warm and stuff. So, but it was cold like in the morning when you like get up and like take a shower or whatever. It's like freezing.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So it's cold in there, even though we're staying indoors.
Yeah.
Remember, I think I told people this, like no camping. I never slept in a tent.
Did you see people in tents?
There are some, like there's like a way you can do this that is sleeping in fixed tents, not like bring your own tent.
Yeah.
I don't think you even can. So I didn't see anyone doing that, and I don't know if they allow you to, because I think it's like part of the economy of the area.
Yeah, to stay in these villages.
And there's these like, we were staying in like the nicest ones, because I think I told everybody this. Like this was called Luxury Everest Base Camp, which is as luxury as it can be. But there are versions of these tea houses that are really, really like not great. Like you share a bathroom, and the bathroom's real dirty and sketchy. There's like a bed, there's like a mattress there, but they don't change the covering of the mattress. There's a pillow there. They don't change the covering of the pillow. And so you bring a sleeping bag and sleep on top of the mattress in your sleeping bag with your own pillow. Yeah. So that kind of a thing.
Wow.
So it's like still inside. So it's like better than sleeping in the dirt, I guess.
Yeah.
But but it's just
and are you
little...
seeing like, is there like 500 people all doing this journey at once, or just the 3 of you, or what's it?
So along the trail, I guess we're like seeing people, like every once in a while people are passing us, and then every once in a while we're passing people, and like people are coming down as well that are finished. They've done their trek already, so they're coming down. So a lot of people most people walk down.
Yeah.
So our trip was scheduled that we did not have to walk.
Did you see
down.
any like people like frostbite on their face and like walking down like
No, nothing like that. It's not like nobody had as of yet been able to climb Everest
this year?
Yeah,
because of the weather.
Still, like, so there's just the day we were there, and we were there. Like, I was literally at Everest Base Camp less than a week ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So it was like last Wednesday, I think, that I was there. Like, they just opened permission to start the actual climbing from base camp to climb Mount Everest. But when the permission starts, that they have to then go and like set all the fixed ropes, all the ladders across the crevices, crevasses or whatever. They have to set up all the tents at camp 1, 2, 3, 4 along the way. They have to like set their like oxygen tanks up like along the way. And so it's like a lot of work still has to be done. So nobody had even yet tried to climb Mount Everest.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. But they were all at Everest Base Camp.
Getting ready.
So I think this season there's supposed to be 400 climbers. And they said for every climber, every Western climber, there's one Sherpa climber, and then like some like kitchen staff and other people like that are helping kind of man the stuff. So for they say if there's 400 climbers, there's probably 600 Sherpa people helping make it happen. So then that means there's 1,000 people living at base camp.
Yeah.
And so base camp's crazy. It's huge. So anyway, we just like went. So every day you're just like, you're hiking all day. The second day was like one of the hardest days. I think it was actually the hardest day because it was the longest and the most steep. And you just start gaining elevation. But that's when we like crossed one of the most famous like suspension bridges. That's like the
What's
one
that like?
above the Hillary Bridge. It's like huge. It's super high. It's like a little bit scary. And they kind of shake. They kind of bounce a little bit, you know, those big suspension bridges. And so it feels a little freaky at first. But I mean, they have like sort of like railing, like a cable on the sides that you can hold on to. And you can't really fall out.
Right.
It's like safe.
Still,
but it's a little
mess
wobbly.
with me.
Yeah. It messed with me some guys like could in the middle of the bridge, like pull their phone out to take a picture.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it was definitely slats. Like if you drop your phone, it's going to fall all the way into the river. Like, and it was like, I don't know, super high, like hundreds of feet high, super high. And so anyway, I just couldn't do it because I felt like I'd be like shaky and like drop my phone or something.
For sure.
But yeah, so it's just like hike. As you're hiking, animals are passing you the whole time because you've got mules. You've got these things called jopke, which are like a hybrid yak and like bull.
Speaking of
mixture.
Star Wars, that's what it makes me think of.
Exactly.
Like one of those like.
And then we saw yaks, but the yaks actually don't come below a certain village because they have to be in a colder temperature.
Oh, wow.
They can't go into the lower villages because it's
interesting.
too hot for them.
Yeah,
which is so crazy. And so we see all these kind of animals on the trail, and like either people or animals are carrying everything. Like, so all the restaurants, all the like lodges, construction, when they build stuff, like it's all being carried on the backs of animals or people. Crazy. You can send it up on these huge Russian helicopters, but like nobody has the money for that. These people are like pretty poor. And so, so it's just all being taken.
Can you imagine?
On the backs
You're like,
of people.
Oh, I need a new couch. I'm just going to go down or.
Exactly. It's like got to be one that comes in pieces.
Yeah.
And then it has to go on the back of a jopke.
Wow.
Which just looks like a giant bull. And it has huge sharp horns. And
they kind of look at you, or you get like
every once in a while. But our guides would take it serious. Like when the jopke would come by, these big bulls, they would like stand. They'd be like, "Go stand to the side," and they always want you to stand on the like the hill part because sometimes there's like a big drop off on the other side, and they don't want the bull to like push you off the. Like off the cliff edge. Yeah. So you always stand on the other side, and then they kind of like stand in the way and are like, yeah, and like whipping them away from us and stuff. And some of these people that are like the herders of the mules and stuff, they're kind of like gnarly. Like they were like chucking rocks at them and like hitting them with sticks and stuff like that because they don't obey. Yeah. And they like have to like keep them going. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what the rules are here, but anyway, but that was cool. So there's just like a long hiking day. Yeah. And you stop at like these little kind of rough restaurants and like have lunch. And it would just be like, do you want this Nepalese curry, or do you want what was kind of like a frozen pizza, or you could get like a chicken burger, which was kind of like a frozen small disc of chicken, like breaded chicken from frozen with on a bun with like too much like mayo and like coleslaw, and you're like, I don't know if I can eat this while I'm hiking.
I know.
So I just almost would have preferred to just eat a Cliff Bar.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you couldn't offend people. And the other weird thing that you always have, always tea. We'll stop and drink tea. Yeah. And we were kind of like to our guides and stuff. We're like, how come you guys don't have water bottles and stuff? He's like, why? I drink tea. I'll drink enough tea at the next stop to have all the water I need for the day. And you're just like,
oh, that's
funny. You guys are beasts.
Yes.
Yeah. And also they drink hot water. Just plain hot water. Because I think it's cold there all the time, and then they have to boil all their water. Yeah. Because it's like not.
That makes sense. Yeah. So it just kind of became norm.
Yeah, norm. You just have like hot water.
Yeah.
And so like at dinner and breakfast, every dinner and breakfast, they're like pouring you hot water in a glass, not tea, just hot
Just
water,
scalding hot
plain,
water.
just plain.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. After a while, we were kind of like, I kind of like having hot water.
Yeah.
When it's cold.
Yeah.
When you're in a cold place, because as you kept getting higher, it kept getting colder. And then
What was like, obviously it's a Buddhist, or no, it's Hindu.
the country of Nepal, I think it's something like 70% Hindu.
Yeah.
The mountains of Nepal are pretty much 100%, almost
interesting.
100% Buddhist.
Yes. Okay.
There are, it's actually in the mountains that are more Christians are starting to like break through in those Buddhist communities.
Yeah.
More even than the Hindu
We have our own
communities.
Bharat Taman
I know.
here.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating for you to talk
I
to
know.
him.
I can't wait to talk to him. No, I
Yeah.
haven't
He was
talked to him
born
yet.
up in those hills.
In those hills. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So, yeah.
But what's like, does it feel dark? Does it feel like there's a spiritual realm there? Like, how would you even perceive that?
I would say yes, at some level. I would say even to a lot of them, and like even my guide, who is someone I really feel like I really got to know pretty well, because there's only 3 of us,
Yeah.
and so we're just like hanging out a lot. And like he was raised in the Himalayas as a Buddhist, and his parents are Buddhist. He says he's like more culturally Buddhist. And so what's interesting is when you're up there, there is a shrine. And if you guys don't like, if you're on Instagram, like everything I have that I've posted is on Instagram. If you go to my profile on Instagram, I have a highlight just called Everest Base Camp or whatever. And you can look at all these pictures, and there's some pictures of shrines and stuff like that. But like, there's a shrine of some sort. There's these other things called stupas that are like a version of a shrine. And
a statue?
yeah, it's kind of like, it's hard to explain. It's this like, looks like more like a Hershey's Kiss. Like that shape. It's like that kind of a shrine. There are these things like every half mile. I mean, it is just everywhere.
And like, do people touch them when they're walking by?
So then there's these spinning bells that are like these golden cylinders that as you walk by, you can spin them.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to multiply your prayers by 1,000.
Oh, I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they even put those spinning things in the river so that the river's making them constantly spin.
wow.
And then that's like enhancing your prayer.
It's like machine prayers.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I've
then,
seen your pit. I mean, these are insane. If you guys, you need to go to Eric's Instagram.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I saved them all in a highlight, and that means they'll stay there.
Oh, cool.
All these stories. And so,
Dang.
yeah. And so these shrines are like all over the place. And then there's also giant monasteries like all over the place too.
Yeah.
And we saw like far up, like it was our 5th day hiking. And so we're far, like, I don't know, you're far out there.
Yeah.
And there's this huge monastery, residential for all the different priests and monks and stuff. And they were actually waiting for like a new head, the head of the main like monk or whatever you call him. He died of that monastery, and they're waiting for him to be reincarnated, is what they're saying. And so I said, so how do you guys identify like that he's the reincarnated one? And they're like, well, when there's a young child that expresses similar interests as what the main priest guy had, and like he wants to be a monk, he's interested in like, this guy was into drums, like he'll like the drum things that they do there better, and then they'll identify that he is the reincarnated
Crazy
primary monk.
Yeah.
And then when he's like 5, he comes in and leaves his family and lives in that monastery. And when he's 5, he's in charge. It's kind of gnarly. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. And so that's where it's like so embedded. Now it's like sort of like interesting to learn about it as a cultural phenomenon. It is definitely like a spiritual warfare issue. I think of those mountains you think of like strongholds or like territories, like very much so is like a demonic stronghold, I think, of Buddhism in that area. So, cause it's like everybody sort of like almost like has to be Buddhist.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is like in these beautiful places, you very rarely see an atheist because I think everyone acknowledges creation is big and powerful and there must be something behind it.
Yeah.
But it's so fascinating. Like everyone's worshiping something
Yeah.
in these places.
Yeah, we were talking to our tour guide guy a lot about that whole notion of
That was Fanu?
Funu. Yeah. About the notion of in most world religions, and it was interesting because we were climbing a mountain, is that you have to climb through your good deeds or whatever. You have to climb the mountain towards your God.
Right.
Or towards transcendence or enlightenment or whatever it is. And then, but in Christianity, it is that Jesus, he climbed down the mountain.
Oh, that's good.
To come to us.
What did he say to that?
Our level. He was just kind of like, wow. He was like interested. So like, it's interesting. Okay. And, sometimes it's hard to tell either A, he's knows how to get a good tip and you don't disagree with your clients. B, he's sort of like the way I was interested in the monastery, sort of just as a cultural phenomenon.
Right.
Is he just that kind of interest, or is like, and it could be all three,
right?
Or third is like
There's
genuine spiritual interest of some sort. And so it definitely can be all three.
That's what's rad too. We talked about the Holy Spirit this Sunday, but like the Spirit of God is in you. And I just have to believe that there's something when we show up places where someone's like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm feeling something I haven't felt before.
I know. It was on I think it might have been like the second or third day. It wasn't like minute one, but I was explaining to him how like I'm a pastor of a Christian church and that's like my job. And so like there's these certain things that, and then I was like, that's why, there's certain things that we're interested in, but we also don't want to participate in. We're not going to spin the bells and we're not going to meditate at the because it was like, do you want to meditate while we're at the monastery?
They would like offer you that opportunity.
Yeah. And so no, we're not going to do those things. Now we have respect for your culture, and we'll like there's this thing like where all these shrines, you're supposed to like you have to walk clockwise around them. So you just have to walk on the left essentially, and it's like more of like it would be a sign of disrespect to walk on the other side.
So certainly you're going to do that.
So I'm going to show respect, but I'm not going to participate.
Yeah.
And so we didn't spin any of the bells or stuff like that. But whatever. And the prayer flags are like actually a little different. I didn't like. I'm not going to buy them or have them or whatever. But like the philosophy sort of behind those is like. It's like just the sense of hoping for goodwill for others is what those flags that are called prayer flags, but they actually aren't like praying to a god. They're just like a symbol
like a reminder.
They're a symbol of goodwill to others. To me, it's like close enough to being something that like is not like I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put them in my house or something or buy them. But like at the same time, I don't think it's like you're not like a horrible bad person or something, or inviting demons into your house or something. But like, anyway, it just, there's all these like different things. And so I was explaining that to him. I'm a pastor of a Christian church. And he was kind of like, oh, wow. Okay. He was like interested in that. And I, how my nature is like kind of like joking around a lot and like teasing. And like, I was doing all that, like who I am with him and trying to have fun and making fun of the other guys, like in front, like with him and just in like a fun way. And he's like asking me later, he's like, so you're like the pastor is like the head, you're like the head of the church. So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, are you like the way you are at church?
We've all been wondering to ask that question. Finally, someone asked it.
Finally, Funu asked. But he is so great. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, and I'm serious when I'm serious. Like when it's time to be serious, I'm going to be serious. And like I showed him like clips of on the Calvary Life Instagram, like me preaching or whatever. And he was just like, whoa. He's like super into like social media, and he's like super into like photography.
Well, I thought it was cool. Even like yesterday you said, hey, if you're watching right now, like,
he might be watching. Yeah, he totally might be. So, it's interesting because it is always like, okay, then, it'd be weird if he's like listening to this, he just like, because you also want to respect people and their story and not using them as an illustration all the time.
Absolutely.
But anyway, he's an awesome dude. We had a really great time. The last day of the trip, and I'll talk through some of the other parts of the trip too, but like the last day of the trip, The other 2 guys had been able to move their flight earlier because we finished a day early, and I was not able to move my flight. And it was funny, my flight he didn't move my flight either, but it was fine. You said to say yes, okay.
Right.
You receive gifts gratefully. But then Funu and I toured Kathmandu a little bit.
Oh, when you're back in the capital, yeah.
Yeah, so we went to these 2 like UNESCO heritage sites that are, one was a Hindu, basically like a kind of like a Hindu series of temples and a crematorium, like a riverside crematorium, essentially. Now it's all outdoors.
Right.
And so we were there, and it's like this river that flows from there to the Ganges River into India, which is like considered holy in like the Hindu religion.
Absolutely.
And so like it's very like desirable for Hindu people to do their cremations in this spot. And this is how they don't bury their dead. They do these cremations. And we go to this place, and first of all, there's like monkeys all over the place jumping around. It's kind of cool, and it looks all Indiana Jones. Temple of
I was
Doom.
just thinking Indiana Jones.
Totally does. And then there was like, we literally saw multiple bodies, dead bodies being burned off the side of this river. Like, so they stick them on like the whole thing of like wood underneath, like you'd see in like old movies or whatever. And then they burn the body, and it's just smoking everywhere. And I'm like smelling the smoke, and I'm like, crazy. Oh, am I like sniffing in this dead body? And like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy and but it's wild. But, and it's also interestingly weird because you're observing this thing, and it's because it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so there's lots of tourists there, as well as just lots of locals just sort of hanging out. But then there's people are having this most intimate moment. It's their family member's funeral is happening right there, and you're sort of watching, and it's it was just like wild,
for sure.
But it was like really. It was very Indiana Jones looking, like very cool, like interesting looking, and monkeys and baby monkeys and all sorts of stuff like all over the place. And then we went to this other like Buddhist site. I'm gonna show a picture, okay? Because this is how we draw people to the
to the video.
To the video. This thing called a stupa is really wild. Okay, so. I'll show you a monkey, by the way. Here's a little monkey.
Oh, it's a big monkey.
Yeah, see, you can't even see that.
They can't see it.
This thing is called a stupa. I'm going to show this to Matt. Look at this.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's
like a circus tent.
You see that, guys? You like that? I don't think we know how to do this.
We really don't.
We need that guy. Have you ever like listened to Joe Rogan where he like has the guy put stuff up on the screen or whatever? So anyway, this place is really, really, really wild. And that is a permanent structure. That's not a tent.
Okay.
That is like concrete.
Yeah.
So we like ate lunch watching that.
Wow.
And so we were just able to keep having kind of interesting talks.
You and him, yeah.
Yeah, it's just me and the tour guide guy, Funu. Because we're just like, everything is like religion.
Yeah.
And so.
Spiritual.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. And so anyway, that was like pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But we'd have these like, you're just hiking every day, man. And so those 2 hard days. And then the third day, you do a shorter hike because we sleep. There's 2 spots that we slept 2 nights at the same place. And that's to try to help you acclimatize better, to get used to the high altitude.
That was also my prayer. We were freaked out. All of us were like, the altitude's going to kill you.
And I felt nothing from the altitude other than being winded.
You know why?
Prayers?
That, and you did your pre-hikes.
I did my pre-hikes at Baldy. I took my Diamox. We took our time. We did things the right way. We didn't rush it because it's like you just can't rush it.
Yeah.
And so then we get 6 days of hiking. We've done 6 days of hiking. We're in this town called Dingbuche. The town names are like amazing.
I had that at Mother's Market yesterday.
You had some Dingbuche. And we are there, and we get this report that it is like a weather front is coming in. And so basically the concern was, okay, the next day, we have to hike 2 more days to get to base camp. We would, the next day, hike all day, stay at this little place, and then you leave super early in the morning. And so like the next day we would have been to base camp by like 10 a.m. but we're like, okay, we need to get there a day earlier. And so like literally at night, let's say it was like Tuesday night, the decision is made, let's try to fly in a helicopter up to base camp and then fly off base camp. Because it was like, it would have been the next day we're supposed to hike up there and then fly off.
Yeah.
But they were saying, if you were to wait and hike up, you won't be able to fly off base camp. So you'll have to hike down.
You'd still be there right now.
Hike down takes 4 days minimum. And I literally would still be there right now. And you'd also have to be like, you have no reservation. So you'd be staying at this really, really terrible like places. And let's just say the others on the trip, I wasn't really super thrilled about that. The others were way less thrilled about that. And so then the next morning, they figured it out. And the next morning, helicopter flew us up. Now, they said we couldn't have done that from the beginning. You can't just like fly up to base camp.
Oh, really?
If you haven't acclimatized at all, or else you'll get there and it'll just be like
so sick,
slamming, nausea, headache. And you could stay for like 20 minutes and then you got to get out or else you're dust. But since we had done the 6 days of acclimatizing, we were able to do
probably
it.
Still a little nervous. Like
I was a little nervous what it'd be like because we were flying from like 15,000 to 17,500. And so you're like, okay, how am I going to feel? And we get up there and it was like, fine. Again, the whole time you feel winded. Like you feel short of breath or you're tired really easy. And it was funny because I got out of the helicopter and you kind of do that little like ducking run away from the helicopter because it's just in the middle of dirt and rocks. It's not like a concrete helipad. It's just landing in dirt and rocks. And then I kind of like ran away from the helicopter and then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't run. Like I need to stop. Like I need to be chill. And because I was where I was to be like, so anyway, but yeah, it was really cool. And then just surrounded by the tons of tents. Now, what was also cool about this, I know we're like 40 minutes in. This is crazy. Sorry. What was also cool about this, though, was that it was normally when you're a trekker and you walk up there as a hiker, you get stopped before you get to the tents. There's like a photo spot of this big rock that says 5364 meters on it. And you take photos at this rock and then you can see base camp in the distance. But they don't let you...
They turn you around.
They turn you around. They won't let you go into base camp.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't want the climbers to have to deal with the tourists.
Right.
So we, though, landed in the middle of base camp. And then we got invited into a climber's tent to have breakfast with them and tea and like see how it works. And then that's when they gave us their Wi-Fi code so that we could then FaceTime our families and stuff like that. And so I like talked to B from base camp. And we got to go to the beginning of where they start the hike or where they start the climb of the Khumbu Ice Falls. And
crazy.
And just got to like hang out up there for a couple hours. And then we flew off.
Wow.
And on the way flying off, you fly up and can kind of like see Everest more. And then you fly down. I know. And then we had to stop like twice on the way and like change helicopters because they have like the more like higher one and then like the more one to take you to Kathmandu.
Okay.
I know. So anyway, that was
what an adventure.
I know. That's the adventure. So yeah, sort of apologize to those that don't care. You got the 45-minute version, but I did want to like be able to tell people a little bit the longer version.
It's just so cool. Like, I don't know, like even just having like a bigger perspective on this, like you feel called to serve on this board in missions. Like, hey, I just want to contribute my giftings to help this mission thrive and grow and impact the world. And so you jump into Greater Europe Mission. No idea that, like the Lord's just gonna like bless you with all these side quests in a sense. With
I know these crazy
get to go
side
to Nepal
quests
with a couple guys on the board and just like
I know
have this amazing adventure that the rest of your life you're gonna be talking about.
Totally, dude. Yeah, it's nuts. So super grateful. It's just unbelievable opportunity. And yeah, the fact that less than a week ago I was just standing like at like the base of Everest.
There's a few things in my life that I try to bring up constantly. One was that I worked for the Dodgers. I always like look for opportunities to like sneak that in, I just did. I feel like awesome. I feel like the rest of your life you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, when I was at base camp.
Exactly. I know.
This reminds me.
I like bought. There's these couple like local brands that are like made by Sherpa people.
Oh, nice.
One's called Everest Outfit, and one's called just Sherpa. And so I like bought stuff from them.
For
and
sure.
So I'll be wearing like, oh, what's that Everest sweater? Oh, I don't know. It's just when I was there.
Yeah.
NBD.
2 years ago, it's on the mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're going to follow the 400 climbers? Are you curious about how they do?
I'm definitely already following a couple.
Yeah.
So this account called Everest Live. That's
cool.
like a daily kind of update of what's going on on Everest. And then there's a couple people that I like saw. I didn't like talk to, but there's a documentary called 14 Peaks on Netflix. This guy named Nimsdai. He did all 14 8,000 meter peaks in like a 2-month span.
Crazy.
And I totally was like sitting at the like table next to him in the Marriott hotel and just like watching him meet with people and stuff. Yeah, because he was there doing business stuff. And then there's this other documentary called Mountain Queen. And these are all just documentaries you could look up, 14 Peaks or Mountain Queen. And it's about this Sherpa woman who has summited Everest 10 times. And then like I saw her practicing like ice climbing at Everest Base Camp.
Whoa.
And I totally like follow her on Instagram and stuff like that. So,
that's really
But it's
cool.
like been as I've been researching it all, you know, but then like saw these people that are kind of like these pseudo celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, Nimsdai is like a massive, actually like in the climbing community, he's like this massive celebrity. He's like the greatest like maybe ever. So it's really cool. So it's cool too how Sherpa people are emerging as like the climbing experts now, not just thought of as porters or whatever, but like they really, because of how they're built different, you know, and they have this incredible capacity of like climbing without oxygen.
They're gaining more respect.
And they're gaining respect. And then they're also like gaining like income and stuff. Like, you know, so they're like, it's cool. So it's really neat how that's happening.
Dude.
I know. So there we go. Yeah.
Less than a week ago.
Yeah, less than a week ago. Just got back Friday. I did not like Friday night. I slept good because I was just like so tired. Slept good, and I knew I didn't have anything the next morning, so I took a Tylenol PM just to try to re-regulate my body clock.
Yeah.
But Saturday night, I had to preach next morning.
I don't know how you did that.
And I did not sleep.
Yeah.
I probably slept 2 hours.
Yeah, I believe it.
And then I got up and just like did church, and it was just kind of I was a little out of body. Like I felt a little like crazy because we also made like some announcements about all these like different things that we're doing with like the worship center auditorium like remodel, and
you're like watching yourself give this
I felt like I was like outside of my body like doing that. I'm like, did I say the stuff I was supposed to say?
Right.
And anyway, in preaching I was just a little kind of out of it. It was funny, but yeah, I'm feeling a little better today. So we'll see, we'll get there. They say it takes a day for every time zone hour for you to feel normal. And so when you like travel like a 5-hour time change,
it's 5 days.
Yeah, it's 5 days.
So you're like 13 days.
Yeah, almost 13. I don't think it should take that long, but it might take me another day or two to feel normal. So, all right. Should we talk about some other stuff?
Yeah, we ended Luke. And we moved into Acts.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant for the life of our church.
Hugely significant.
So we started Luke November 2022. And there was 119 sermons by my count. I've been saying that with a ton of confidence. You know how I counted that? I just like printed out our like teaching thing and I just counted 1, 2, 3, 4.
That seems like
I don't know.
Right way.
Yeah, but my way of counting, I don't know. I might have skipped 1 or 2.
I thought like when I did the breakdown, the Luke's
was like, 119 what you came to?
Let's see, Luke series breakdown. This is exciting stuff, guys. Sorry. Let's see. What does it get to? I don't have it like, never mind. I have it like in chunks. So never mind.
But it was 11 miniseries within those 119 sermons, approximately 59 hours. But how I came up with 59 hours was just 30 minutes a sermon, which we both know there was plenty of sermons that were above that. But guess what? While you were gone, I gave the second to last Luke sermon.
Yeah.
I almost had a perfect game.
What do you mean?
So the timeline for that sermon was 30 minutes in our plan.
Okay.
And I stopped at 30 minutes and 1 second.
Whoa.
I was 1 second away from a perfect game. Which Trevor, I like questioned, like, that's 1 second. You could have just pushed stop on the thing 1 second too late. Human error.
He could have hesitated.
He actually went back.
Listen to the audio?
He's like, no. It was exactly 30.
That second, you needed that second?
I guess so.
I mean, I went like 10 minutes over this week. I mean, we go over a lot. So I feel like you need to add like 10 hours.
Yeah. So it's anywhere between 59 and like 70 hours of sermons.
That's amazing.
And we threw out in the podcast, our last recording one, that if you listen to all of them, we will buy you ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Did anybody do it, you think?
We have a couple people. Chris Couchman, shout out to Chris Couchman.
Yeah.
She said she has her Luke journal, which we have the Acts one now. She has her Luke one. She's like, look, Matt, she's like, I almost have every sermon noted. Oh. And then Allison Yates had the same thing. She's like, I think I'm missing like 4 in this entire one.
But didn't we say they had to re-listen to all of them?
There could have been. We have to go back and listen to what we. Yeah, you got to like binge listen to them. No, you got to fly from Nepal and back and just listen to sermons the whole time.
Yeah, and like almost isn't all. So
True.
Let's show me your work.
True, that's true.
That's amazing.
This ice cream's not coming to anybody.
Okay, it did say 122 is what I had on the.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
Well, we might have comboed some over time too.
It's very possible.
We might have cut a couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. All right. So we finished Luke, amazing. We started Acts, which is crazy. We started an actual new book of the Bible.
Yes.
Unheard of at Calvary.
And we did. I think most people that have been here know this. We've stopped Luke at certain times to do other series.
Yes.
But overall, that was the key book we were going through.
Yeah, we had like discipleship, dependence. We had Christmas. We had mission stuff.
Right.
Yeah, some other things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's
book
good.
of Acts. How you feeling about it?
I know, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Like I said on Sunday, Jesus said you'll do even greater things than these.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I don't know. That's like makes the sequel good.
Yeah.
So
that's from John 14. When I've listened to that Jesus say those words, not him listen. When I've read those words,
dang, you're there.
So I was like, really, Jesus?
I know.
Like
resurrections.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But you start getting into Acts, and you're like. Man, the things the disciples got to witness and the spread of just even this Jesus movement was far beyond even what Jesus got to experience.
Right. Because I also wonder if Jesus would say, 3,000 getting saved is way more of a greater thing than me raising Lazarus from the dead. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I don't know. Like, that's... Getting raised from the dead is like a temporal thing for a couple of years in his perspective.
Right.
Maybe he thinks that's like a greater thing or whatever, or the Gentiles being like welcomed into the faith is like a greater thing than him healing somebody or whatever, So I don't know.
Yeah. So I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a great journey. It reads like a novel in many ways.
Right.
So it's just fun to like even just read through Acts and the stories.
That's
You're like, that's crazy.
It is almost going to be hard for us when we've been in narrative, then in story style narrative for, it'll be like 4 years, to do an epistle or something. We're going to be like, wait, how do you do this again? I don't remember how to preach these.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll have to refigure that out. And we also do need to get into some other genres of literature at some point.
Right.
But that's cool. Yeah. Really cool. So should we talk about Acts 1 through 5?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, I started with talking about my trip, so should we talk about my trip some more?
Let's do it.
Did you actually listen to it?
Yeah.
You don't have to lie.
Yeah, so I wasn't here, listener, yesterday. We were up at a wedding in Robert Carter country, Sonora, California.
Sonora.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, I listened to
Who
it.
Who got married?
Marie's cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good cousin wedding. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. They had me do the prayer at the dinner.
Okay.
And I snuck in 3-point sermon. It was like a what do you call a prayer that turns into a sermon? Like a prayer.
I know. Permon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could just see there. Okay,
we got it, bro.
Are
you just joking, or were you really doing that?
No, I slipped in. Proverbs 18, Ephesians 5.
Wait, why?
I just felt like
nobody wants that. They want to eat.
I felt like it was appropriate.
Just thank God, give a blessing, get out.
I did a couple jokes that didn't really work.
In the prayer?
Yes. No. I mean, leading up to the prayer, like setting it up.
Oh, this is like a prayer breakfast.
Yeah.
When you go to a prayer breakfast and you never pray, you just talk about prayer.
There's a little bit of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't here yesterday, but I listened to it this morning.
Okay, nice.
On the Facebook.
Oh, really?
That's my genre of choice.
See, that's even better. You don't listen to the podcast. You don't watch it on YouTube. You watch it on the book face. Are you pretty excited for the new movie coming out, Social Reckoning?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Have you heard of the movie Social Network?
Yes.
This is the sequel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Well, it's your favorite thing, Facebook. So
I don't take kindly to criticism against Facebook.
All right. Speaking of sequels, that's what Acts is.
It is,
sequel to Luke.
Yeah.
So, did you like the part about the Acts is a genre of literature?
I was fascinated by that.
Yeah.
I have never heard that before.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. There was Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
You mentioned another one too. I forget.
There's one I actually forgot to mention this one about Augustus, but there's one about called Acts of the Early Kings. And then I liked even the thought of calling the Gospel of Luke the Acts of Jesus.
That's cool.
And then this was the Acts of the Apostles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Well, come on, lead us. You gotta lead them.
Well, we talked about that you're gonna do greater things than even what Jesus' earthly ministry was because the Holy Spirit is in you. So it's really the Holy Spirit is unleashed.
Yep.
And then you kind of took us on a little bit of like a side trail.
Yeah.
Up the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Of just talking through one of my pet peeves is not just the Father is God and then you have Jesus and the Spirit, but the real idea that the Holy Spirit is a bona fide member of the Trinity, fully God.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just an it's a person.
Right.
And then you kind of led us through here's some ways to think about the Holy Spirit and the Trinity that can be what you called heretical or problematic. Maybe help us understand.
What I called heretical? Do you think I just made that up? That those are heretical?
I guess that does sound like it's a personal opinion.
You don't agree?
No,
He's a big tritheist.
I fully agree.
Okay.
I guess my question would be though is why does that matter for us that we get it right?
Well, I think I wanted us to think about it now. I think especially in light of we're going to be talking about the Holy Spirit a lot coming up, with Pentecost and with the power of the Holy Spirit is a huge part of all the things that the early apostles do, but it's not a possession of the force. Speaking of May the 4th.
Yeah.
So it's not the force. Now you have the force and you can do cool stuff because you have the magic power.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is... that's why I kind of I meant to talk about this on Sunday, but I felt like I was already going long. And then when I start editing myself and then I feel like I'm bummed that I leave things out.
Totally.
But
the pod's for.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about how I like when some people just leave out they delete the word the and just say Holy Spirit, almost like a proper noun, like a name, and Holy Spirit said this, or I pray Holy Spirit, blah, blah.
Right.
And so, that's at least even conceptually, I think that's interesting because it's trying to help you remember that Holy Spirit is God, a person of the Trinity, not just a impersonal force.
Yes.
So I think that's probably the main reason why I think it's important as we head into the book of Acts. But yeah, I think also just I always don't like when the Father is referred to as God and the other ones aren't, because then you're just well, why are you doing that?
Right.
And
yeah,
I did say I admit that the Bible does it, so that's why I think why some people do it.
Right.
but it's just an admitted little pet peeve.
I think in Christianity and in our theology, it's always tempting to over or underemphasize something. So you can overemphasize spiritual warfare.
Yep.
You're really paralyzed because you're just so in fear of the demonic realm. But you can also underemphasize it where you just don't even think about it. And there's spiritual battles going on around you and you're not prepared. I think the same is true with just when you look at the Holy Spirit. You can overemphasize at times, whether that's I want a demonstration so badly that I'm just willing to kind of conjure it up in a sense, but then you can very much underemphasize the work of the Spirit. And I think the book of Acts is going to be wonderful for us to give us that proper diet and balance of who he is. And that started on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's cool too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, that's part of why I wanted to do that. And it's just like cool. I think it's cool when there's those verses that just show you all three persons of the Trinity within one passage.
Right.
It's the pastor move is to the pastor move when you know that analogies for the Trinity don't work.
Yeah.
But then it's to still talk about them, but say how they don't work.
I actually have never heard the Neapolitan ice cream one before.
Good, huh?
Yeah, that one is pretty good.
I think it's the best.
And it's also good because I love Neapolitan ice cream, and I can never find it. I feel like that's been like
no, it's old timey.
This whole like Robert Kennedy stuff. He's getting rid of like Sun Chips and Cheetos, and I feel like Neapolitan ice cream's been like banned or something.
It probably has. It's also like a thing of yesteryear.
Yeah,
like, it's just like we're having Neapolitan ice cream and Rocky Road, eh?
I'd get so bummed if I had like too much strawberry. Be like, oh.
I'm more like I like the strawberry. I like it.
And speaking of that, verse 4 in Acts 1 talks about the idea of, as they were eating together, just casually mentions. And you had a good point too about like, it's part of like the meals with Jesus were so important. And
of the proving even.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. So I agree with myself.
And that brings up one of my pet peeves.
Oh, hey.
You were dipping into Luke 24 a lot for this message.
Yeah.
I think you wanted to preach on that final one. You had to give up. You gave up your Luke 24 sermons to Tim and I when you got this call for this trip. I felt like we got a lot of Luke 24 yesterday.
I looked Tim right in the eye as I said that. Because I said like something about like, I know I basically admitted it like on stage. And then I looked him right in the eye as I said it. He just like laughed because he always laughs when I like say, because I always do that too when I use like an idea he shared and I try to make eye contact with him.
That's good.
Because he also always sits in the same spot. Not everybody like sits in the same spot.
Yeah, he's very much a spot
like
sitter.
you, I can't necessarily find you.
You can't pin me down.
No.
It's actually, speaking of pet peeves, it's one of my wife's like biggest pet peeves about church. She's like, man, I just want to sit in the same area.
Yeah.
And I just have ADD in my seating.
Oh. Well, she doesn't want to sit in the front though, does she?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, funny story. So when you're gone, I preached a couple weeks ago and Marie went to a baptism. Our nieces and nephew, or two of our nieces got baptized, which was so cool.
Yeah.
So she went to witness that. And so I was talking to Curtis Yates, who goes here. And I'm like, Marie's not going to be here. I have no one to sit with me. The first lady, because we always joke our wives sit with us. Yeah. He's like, I'll be the first lady.
Did he sit up there?
And I thought he was just messing with me. So Sunday morning, I'm like worshiping. My eyes are closed, and all of a sudden I feel his presence next to me. And I look around, and there's Curtis sitting right next to me. I'm like, thanks,
hilarious.
man. Thanks for helping a brother out.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
But yeah, the whole eating part.
Yeah, eating part.
Oh, and then, this was so good. And I think this just applies to all of us.
Yeah.
The whole idea of waiting.
Yep.
And what do we do when we wait?
Mm-hmm.
And talk to us about that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where I had to dip into Luke 24. Yeah. Because that's where it says what they did while they
previously
waited.
On.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like that? So, because it explains how the way they waited was that they waited with worship and that they went to the temple every day and they worshiped at the temple during that 10-day period.
Yeah.
They were worshiping. And so I think that's like a great way that we can wait when you are waiting for that like thing that you are hoping for, even if it's not like one of the promises of God, it's just the thing that you're hoping for from God. We'll wait with worship, and then there are things that are promised of God. And so that's what I was trying to like distinguish a little bit. Like there are things like we would all hope to have health, or we would hope to be able to provide, or we would hope for different sort of situations. I mean, biblically, we see that a lot with like fertility even or whatever. And we hope for that, but that also is not a promise of God.
Yeah.
And it's not a guarantee or something. And so it's important to like maybe like distinguish between those things that are a promise of God and are a good desire. It's like not a bad desire, but it's still just a desire.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily something God promises for us. So in that we wait for worship, and then hopefully, I think we've talked a lot about how worship realigns our heart to be in line with God's heart.
Yeah.
And so hopefully then that our worship realigns then our desires to be, in line with his promises.
Yeah, I love that teaching. And I think it's just something, that's one of the reasons we gather, is to remind ourselves of like, we are going to wait.
Yeah.
It's just part of living in this world.
Yeah.
And then, what's our response to that?
Yeah.
And what does it actually do when we wait well?
Yeah.
And that was such a good note. That's what they did. They hung out.
Yeah, they hung out with each other and then they worshiped.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Did you you probably didn't see it because it was, you probably just did the sermon.
I listened.
Yeah. Oh, and you just listened. But in the benediction though.
Yeah.
I did this whole goodbye to the Peckhams thing.
Oh, cool.
So Lloyd and Nancy, it was their last full Sunday.
Dang, I know.
And so you would have loved it. It was a very Matt Doan moment. I did all the other announcements, and then I talked about them for a second, and then I walked out to where they were sitting, and then I couldn't keep it together, and I got teary. And I hugged them. This is just in front. I had everybody sit down, that I had them stand up.
Had you planned on doing any of this?
No, I didn't even know it was their last Sunday until I looked at the order service.
Yeah.
Because I was so out of it because I was gone.
Yeah.
And I knew it was coming around now, but I didn't realize it was that Sunday. So I didn't know until I got back. And then I walked out to them and then hugged them. And then I said, I want to just pray the benediction, the blessing over them specifically. So let's join in praying this for them. It was
super cool.
Yeah. They're just so special to our church.
They've been such a gift.
Yeah. It's a bummer for them to be, it's all good reasons for them to be moving, to be closer to family and stuff like that. But it's just sad for us.
They did promise that they'll come back for Reach Week each year. So
nice.
I'm hoping that that's able to happen.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, and I was just highlighting, you guys have done some really big things, translate the Bible, but we're gonna miss you more for the little things.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
talk about a testimony. They translate the Bible. They come back. They had every right just to cruise.
Yeah,
or they still wanted to be on the mission field, but because of health reasons, they couldn't.
Yeah,
they could have just felt sorry for themselves and kind of gotten frustrated or bitter. Yeah. And yet they chose just hey, we're just going to plug into Calvary. Yeah. And plug into where God has us. And it's so cool. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it's cool. I
didn't know that till this very moment.
Yeah. I knew you'd like it. So, not just because you're a missions guy, but it feels like the kind of way you would have done it too. So it's channeling my inner Doan. All right, we are at an hour and 6. Should we do some emails and get out of here?
Yeah, we probably should.
So sorry for talking about my trip for 45 minutes, but let's do a few emails. Unread previously.
Yeah, that's not any new thing for us.
Not any new thing, but always a little bit scary. So, Andrea Anima. I always struggle with her name. Andrea Anima.
She's phonetically spelled it out for us.
I know. I just I don't know why.
Sorry. It's really an apology to Ryan, her husband.
I know. Okay. Hi, Eric and Matt. Oh, subject line, no shame hygienist. Do you remember me talking about how I don't like shame? Yeah. Hi, Eric and Matt. Firstly, a few weeks ago was the first time I attended Calvary's Passover Seder. Cool. And really enjoyed. Insightful and interesting. A moment now to appreciate Eric's guitar playing and singing of the Dayenu. What a fun bonus.
You've not lived until you've seen that, folks.
She says would encourage everyone to attend. Secondly, she's funny, dude. She makes me laugh a lot. Secondly, I feel there is another topic I must address. My subject line no doubt gave it away. A long time ago on the pod, Eric brought up the idea of a no-shame dental hygienist. Yes. Wherein your dental hygienist does not shame you for your lack of dental health, poor flossing, etc. As a member of Calvary's congregation, I feel like I see where this is going. I fear I must speak out against such atrocities as this notion. As someone who takes their dental health very seriously, I was appalled. I like when people come at me hot like this. Where does the line stop? Your physician who keeps disease diagnoses hidden from you? Your supervisor who never provides feedback on your work? Your soccer coach who withholds tips on how to improve? All in fun. Enjoy the chance to hear a rebuttal. That's all from me. Cheers.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, all right. I do have a rebuttal.
I don't know where this is going to go.
My rebuttal is, yes, fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about it. Just fix it. Don't talk to me about what I'm fine with at the end of it for them to say, hey, you need to floss more. You need to do this, whatever. You need to eat less candy or whatever it is that they want to say. You need to floss, whatever. What I don't need is every 10 seconds, like, oh, wow. Okay, well.
This one's bleeding.
You sure you flossed there? Are you sure you did this? Wow. I don't need that. I don't want any of that.
I agree.
Okay, thanks. Good.
I actually had a wonderful therapeutic thing happen to me a few weeks ago. I went to the dentist.
Yeah.
I checked in at 8:30 in the morning, and I sat there for 45 minutes. Never heard my name called. People came in after me, got their name called. Finally, I walk up to the desk. I'm like, I haven't heard my name. I've been here for 45 minutes. Like, oh, we're so sorry. We skipped you. And I said, I don't have time anymore. I'm leaving.
Nice.
And I left, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
Finally, I shamed them.
Yeah,
I
that's
shamed the
right.
dentist. They didn't shame me. I shamed them. But then I realized it was actually punishment on myself.
Because you still didn't get to go to the dentist. I know. So what you should earn then from that is like a no shame appointment.
Yes.
Or a no wait appointment.
100%.
Yeah, you should get some sort of card now.
Yep.
Like, okay, now we did this to you. Now you have the right.
Yeah. When they start saying 4, 3, 2,
Oh,
2,
gosh,
2,
yeah,
I'll just
where
pull
they-
up my card and be like,
They poke that thing into your
yep.
gums.
I'll say, nope.
Nope. Don't want to hear the numbers. All right. Yeah, she's right, though. I understand. All right. Okay. I'm really scared to read this one. Okay. This is from Brock Sanquist, who was a kid in our youth group back in the day.
Yep.
But he's more importantly a member of our fantasy football league.
He is.
And he's capable of saying anything in this email.
He now lives in Florida.
He does. He says, hi, guys. I like the challenge in the last podcast. So you guys will fly to Tampa to take me to ice cream if I prove I watched the whole Luke series start to finish. How would you like me to prove it, Brock? Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like a short essay on each sermon? I mean, honor code?
I don't trust his honor.
Did you hear that, Brock? That's a big statement.
I don't know. Expensive to fly all the way to Tampa?
I think
Could we just like mail him?
I think it's mail him. Oh yeah, like Gold Belly or whatever. Have you heard of that? Like, yeah. I'll tell you what, Brock. I've traveled a little too much this year already, but if you pay for the flight, I'll be there with ice cream.
With a Sherpa. If a Sherpa carries our bags.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's good. That's exciting. I don't know. You do have to prove it to us, but you can choose the way of proving.
Yeah, I guess it's up to us to determine if we agree, if we accept it.
Oh, that's true. I like that. Okay, that's good. All right, Ben Hopkins, bias, ? He says, hey, Eric and Matt, first when you said he is still risen, I literally laughed out loud. Yes! So it wasn't completely lost on a younger, more handsome generation.
It's true, Ben. It is.
Also, I noticed this past week when John asked multiple questions, he wasn't called out about how many there were.
As Dr. Hopkins often is.
That's funny, dude. A question. Have you ever officiated or attended a wedding where someone objected?
Oh.
Can't wait to hear from you in a month. He did send this on April 19th. I have not. I've never seen. I don't even know if I've ever heard it even asked.
Yeah. When I first started doing weddings, I think that was like sort of still in the water as far as you could say, if anyone objects, speak now for all your peace.
We didn't say that in my wedding, and I got married 28 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm just thinking of TV shows.
I know. I mean, we didn't want it said.
Right.
But I guess maybe somebody might have still said it.
I've been involved in 2 weddings where I started sweating. One was, it was out in Temecula, and you had to arrive at this golf course, and then they would like drive you out to the wedding spot. Okay. Like somewhere on the course. Okay. And there was a couple hundred people there, and everyone got there except the bride. And we're all waiting there. The wedding's supposed to start at like 1 o'clock. Oh. And it's like 1:30. And no, I don't know where the bride is. Like no one's telling me. Yeah. And like part of me was like, did she bail?
Did she bail? Yeah.
Did she leave?
Did she?
No, her mother just was late.
Oh my goodness.
So they were waiting for her. But it wasn't being communicated to the groom or anybody.
Oh my goodness.
Another one I did here locally, the bride's dress broke right before the wedding, like a button or something. And so I knew about that one, but they're like, they called in a seamstress from somewhere else that drove over to like fix it.
So you're like delaying?
Yeah. So it was like a 45-minute hour delay.
Did you stand up or you just let people?
That would be my dream. All right. Welcome, everybody. Everybody. Exactly. I got this joke on the 4th of July or 4th of May.
That's funny.
But both of those, it wasn't an objection, but it was more of like a delay.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had, I've never had anybody object. I don't even think I've ever had like a runaway bride or anything like that. I don't know. Have you? Yeah, no. So interesting. So there you go, Ben. Sorry, we don't have any good questions, but I do appreciate your, like the offense taken at like what we've done to you. But just know that it's more that I'm sorry I didn't do it to John than I'm sorry that I did it to you.
It's like a missed opportunity with John.
Exactly. All right, this next one is called April Podcast Insights.
Ooh.
Your monthly statistics report.
Okay.
So
anything interesting?
We were up 19% versus last month
really?
On downloads.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
way to go, listeners.
Yeah, we don't talk about how many though. And then let's see. Most popular episode was The Calvary Way. So us talking about, that was the Emmaus Road one, I think. And so this is interesting. Most popular listening time is Wednesday at 1 a.m. Does that mean people are using it to go to sleep? Oh dear. That's not good.
It's like midweek, you're kind of tired, but you can't sleep.
Yeah, they just pop in the pot. They're like, he'll drone on and on about his vacation.
Let's do that. Let's go to sleep. Go to sleep. Your eyes are so heavy.
Close your eyes. Start to yawn. You will sleep until the dawn. All right, there you go. All right, well, thanks, Matt. This has been very fun. Hopefully, we'll be back in a groove. And thank you for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast.
Thanks again for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast. If you'd like to share any of your thoughts, please reach out to us at podcast@calvarylife.org. You can find out more about the show on Instagram @Calvary Life or on our website at calvarylife.org/podcast.